Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Like It's 1985 and this is my review of Transformers Movie Trilogy Series Deluxe Class Optimus Prime with trailer. So first let's take a look at the box here. It does come packaged in the vehicle form. And I did get this at a reduced price. I got it for $20 as opposed to the full retail price of $30. And that brings me to my first point about this particular figure set. I really do not think this is worth the full retail price of $30. $20 is pretty good. $15 would have been great, but as it is, I'm pretty happy with what I paid for it. I don't think it's worth the full retail price, and I wish that Hasbro would have included two exclusive mech tech weapons as part of this set to maybe make it a little more worth the $30 retail price. As it is though, and what I paid for it, I'm pretty happy with it. And of course, this is why I got this set, because of the ability to have the both the truck portion and also the trailer portion displayed really nice as a set. So as you can see, the actual truck portion does rotate around the trailer, so you do have a wide range of posability there. There's actually just a little post there that connects into the back of the truck. Let's look at the truck first here, and it's actually really nicely detailed. This is actually a pretty good representation of Optimus Prime in vehicle form. You got some nice silver paint here along the smokestacks, here as well, and also on the front grille. So really nicely detailed. So that is the truck portion. And you'll notice there actually are two ports here on the top that actually can accept the mech tech weapon. So that's pretty cool. So you have that playability option there. And speaking of mech tech weapons, the selling point for this set is that the trailer itself has a total of 7 ports that can accept the mech tech weapons. And so I will go ahead and briefly demonstrate that. Go ahead and plug in these real quick here. And looks pretty cool actually. Depending, of course, which mech tech weapons you have, but as it is, you can see there, it really kind of reminds me of this look here, reminds me a lot of the Power Master Optimus Prime from the 1980s. So kind of a cool throwback there if you have these mech tech weapons on there. But let me go ahead and remove those. And I mentioned that there were 7 ports on the trailer, and I'll show you what the other 3 are. If you take a look at the trailer here, and you actually open it up, and it does open up there, you can see there's actually 3 additional ports there along the bed of the trailer. And here you can see details inside, fairly basic, nothing too fancy. The actual rear door here does open up, so you could have a display like this with, in this case, with Generations 1 Jazz. You can have it like being deployed or rolling into the actual trailer. So that's pretty cool. And looking at the trailer itself, you do have the Autobot symbol here on this side, but not on this side over here. The wheels actually do roll, and you have these support posts here, which actually sort of support the weight of the trailer while it's detached from the actual vehicle, of the front portion of the tractor trailer. But they actually, interestingly enough, those posts do not get in the way of the actual tractor trailer moving. There's just enough clearance that doesn't hinder the movement. You can see it rolls like that. So, comparisons in vehicle mode. Well, let me bring in my usual standby. This is Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Class Swerve, and you can see there's definitely, as we know by now, a reduction in size and scale with the Dark of the Moon figures. And this is essentially what this is. Even though it says Movie Trilogy, this is essentially a Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime Deluxe Class. And you can see the size difference there. Yeah. And even with another deluxe figure from Dark of the Moon, in this case sideswipe, still there is a size difference there. So if that bothers you, then I would say just don't display this particular Prime with your other Dark of the Moon figures, because at least in robot mode, or at least in vehicle mode anyways, because you can see there's sports car, semi, yeah. So just to give you an idea of that scale. Now, I know a lot of you are going to wonder, well, can you fit vehicles inside of this? And I'm going to tell you right now that you can fit the Generation 1 figures in here. So I happen to have Jazz here, Generation 1 Jazz, and Generation 1 Red Alert. And as it is, these barely fit in there. And let me just show you here. They fit pretty well. You can see there's a little bit of gap there because it doesn't quite want to close. The vehicles are just a little bit too wide. But you can get away with it. I think it looks decent like that with the Generation 1 vehicles in there. Now, that means that the deluxe class figures from the modern Transformers lines, particularly the examples I have here, here is Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Sideswipe, and it has even less of a fit. You can see there's a gap there. I mean, from the side you don't really notice it, but there's a gap and it doesn't really close all the way. And of course, being larger, the Revenge of the Fallen swerve is definitely too large. You can see there, doesn't want to close up. So there is that, just so you know. And of course, you could actually put a lot of Legends figures like this one here, which is Trail Cutter, or aka Trailblazer, and you can see there the size or the scale for the trailer versus a Legends figure in vehicle form. So that's really all there is to say about the trailer. The trailer does have this little bar here on both sides. And I believe what you can do is, you know, those clip weapons, the clip weapons that came with like the Dark of the Moon Human Alliance basic figures, you can clip on those there, I believe. It would look kind of strange, so I don't really feel like I'm going to do that, but you can probably do that. So there's that trailer. So on to the transformation for Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. Pretty easy. I'm going to pull this front section here. It's on a sliding mechanism there. You want to bring down the legs, and the hip section, or I should say actually the pelvic section does actually tab in to place like that. You want to separate the legs, and you want to extend down the legs, and you can see there's a little like almost like a hinge, I think. You want to lock that in place. You want to make sure it actually locks into the side of the leg so it stays in place. And then you want to take this gray bit here, flip it up, rotate this around, and this only rotates one way, so it's pretty easy. And these are actually the toes. You want to take the section here, fold that up into the leg, like that, and you've got your legs done for Optimus Prime. Then what you want to do is you actually want to rotate this whole section here around, and you kind of have to just kind of get it around there like that. Well, actually, sorry, you want to actually take the section here and fold this out, and then you can actually rotate, well, bring down the arms here, and then you actually rotate around this whole section there. So now you have the chest and the legs facing the right direction, and there's actually some tabs and slots. These tab in there and actually keep that nice and secure there. And I already showed you how you bring out the arms. They just fold up like that and unfold for robot mode. And then finally, for the dramatic head reveal, you want to pull the chest apart, and you may have to, whoops, sorry about that, the arm came off. There is a little gray tab here for that. You may have to push that on that and extend up the head like that. So, and as you can see, because the arm fell off, or I pulled it off, the arms are actually on ball joints, or I should say the shoulders are. And for this here, you actually want to take this, rotate this all the way up like that, and it becomes his very ginormous backpack. So there is the transformation for Optimus Prime. Yeah, it looks alright. I don't think it's quite in proportion. The legs seem really long, but then again, Optimus Prime does have long legs, I think. I don't think it's quite accurate though. But, you know, it doesn't bother me too much because you're really buying this for the trailer, in my opinion. These little bits here, they kind of flip up like that. They're kind of like the shoulder armor. Not shoulder pads, shoulder armor. Thank you. So, we can take a look at Prime here. Pretty nice head sculpt, and it does have light piping, actually. You can see there. There actually is a swivel at the head, not a ball joint, but that's due probably to the gimmick there where the head pops up. Shoulders themselves are on a ball joint. Swivel at the bicep, bend at the elbow. That bend is due to the transformation. There's, you know, you can argue there's actually torso articulation, but again, that's for the transformation. And then the hips, of course, forward, back, out to the side, swivel at the hip, bend at the knee, and there is your articulation. So, let me go ahead and say that because you still have those peg holes here, what you could do is you can actually give Optimus Prime here some over-the-shoulder rocket weapons, if you will. It looks kind of cool. You know, again, it depends on what weapon you're talking about. Certain weapons look better than others. But yeah, you could plug in a Voyager class mech tech weapon there and have powered up Optimus Prime there. So there's that. And if you look at his arms, his forearm, he does have ports there as well. So you do have that playability. And you can see the way that his hands are sculpted, I believe. They can take a mech tech weapon as well, like that. See, there is that playability there, which is nice. So, size comparisons. Well, he fares better in his robot mode, I would say, in terms of comparison with other figures. Let me bring in first, if I can get this guy to stand here. Come on. Not sure what his problem is here. Oh well, might be that backpack, but I was able to get him to stand before. Anyways, let me bring in Voyager class Megatron, which you can see there. There's a size difference there as well, like that. And I also have a couple deluxe figures from Dark of the Moon. There's Ratchet, and essentially what is Bumblebee. There you go. So he does scale okay or better with, obviously, with the deluxe figures because he actually is a deluxe. But even then, you know, Prime should be probably up here as far in terms of height compared to Bumblebee and Ratchet. But you know, there it is. So you just have an idea of how big or how small, whatever way you want to look at it, how big or small this guy is in robot mode. So there we go. So yeah, this is like I say, this is a pretty nice set for the $20 I paid, but I would not pay $30 for this. I don't think it's worth it. Alright, well thanks for watching. This has been my review of the Transformers Movie Trilogy series, Deluxe Class Optimus Prime with trailer.